Hi, I'm Julie Freeney, and I am one of the participating artists in the apART show. Um, I have a background in art. I went to Columbia College in Chicago, graduated in 1990. Been a practicing artist since and exhibited in a few places as well. And happy to be here and talk a little bit about the show.
Before we did this show, how did you prioritize making art? Did that priority change after taking part in this commitment for 10 months?
Well, I think prioritizing making art has always been a struggle. Um, Certainly, I have a family, and there was a point in time while raising young kids, it didn't happen. There wasn't time to do that. I think became when I did have time, I wanted to rest or sleep. But once my kids got into all day school, that's when I started to make art again and kind of took a new direction, exploring new ideas. So I was very good at prioritizing. I think, though, sometimes there's a perception by artists and non-artists that it should be easy. You should just be inspired and want to work all the time. And sometimes that happens, but like other jobs, you also have to work at it and you have to set times to do it. Even though it feels like you shouldn't have to do it, you do have to prioritize and say, I'm going to sit down and do something. I may not know what I'm going to do. I know I often find when I do start, ideas just come and I work and then I'm going. Sometimes the hardest thing is to get started, like many things. So I think also what this show helped is I prioritize what kind of art I want to make. That it doesn't just have to be, this is an idea I want to convey. I can just sit down and I'm just going to create something in the moment. Let's see where it takes me.
Yeah. So this piece here I made in March, or maybe beginning of April. It was right when the lockdown happened, and Italy was being hit hard with so many deaths from COVID. And I remember the feeling of feeling helpless, fear, and sadness. And it was just that stained glass image, the circular image, reminded me of the COVID gene or whatever that you see them always showing, and then the sculptures of angels crying. And that map is actually a map of Milan, where it was being hardest hit. So I didn't know that's what I was going to do. I just started working, and that's what came out.
So this piece, well, first of all, the picture, it's actual photo, just highly filtered. That's an area where I go hiking a lot near a place called Casey Trail. And it was a picture taken in the winter. And I was thinking about how so many people find peace, at least to be able to go out on a walk, take your mask off, and just have peace with nature. And then I kind of combined the circles, stand here, stand there. At least in nature, when you're walking, you don't have to worry about that. So much of us was worrying about how far apart and wearing our mask, but in nature you could just feel a little more free. And then the border just kind of has all these headlines bombarding us every day about COVID.
Julie, describe how this art by mail exchange process affected you, especially during this pandemic.
Well, it affected me in that, well, first I felt a little pressure, because I always feel pressure when I'm like, oh, let's make art. Even if it's supposed to just be fun, I'm always like, oh, but it's good. I need pressure, good pressure, to motivate me to do things. That's why it's so great that Eric called, and I was excited. I was really excited about it. And it's so good to have artist friends that help motivate you. But once I started working, it was wonderful, because I don't usually create art like this with newspapers and whatever I have on hand and words, and it's just like I said in my bio, it didn't feel like me. I've always wanted to do that, but I felt like I don't know, that's just not me, but I really enjoy it, and I feel like, oh, I mean, I can just sit down and do this. It doesn't have to be for anyone or anything, or try to create something beautiful or something specific, but it's very rewarding. So, really like this. I want to continue it, and you know, the pandemic was it affected so many people that this was such a great way for me to communicate how I felt, because I'm not writing about it, but being able to, it's just such a great way to communicate how I felt about the situation. And I should also not mention getting a piece of artwork from someone else, like Eric would send me his pieces. It was exciting. I was so excited to get a piece in the mail, something that someone made, took the time to send to me, to mail to me. You can't, digital email, things like that can't compete with a tangible thing that you get in the mail. And it was just a great, and especially being a time when we're in lockdown and feel disconnected, it really was a great way to stay connected.
Why do you think it's so much easier to watch other people live? Like, for example, binge watching TV shows versus engaging in activities that truly feed the spirit and the creative mind?
I mean, I think it's human nature. It's human nature. Throughout history, we've always created ways to make things easier and more convenient. Humans want instant gratification, and we also have this need to compare our lives to others and want validation and acceptance, and technology offers that, and it's easy. We don't have to do anything. We can sit, and it's addictive. So like binge watching a TV show, you know, Eric and I were talking in the old days, you'd have your Thursday night episode, and usually you'd sit down and watch it, and then you'd have to wait a week. Well, now you can't. Like, you watch an episode and it's got a hook at the end, so you got to find out what happened, and other people already binge watched it. So in order to have a conversation, you feel like you have to watch the whole thing. So I think we have difficulty regulating ourselves to say, I'm going to watch one, and then I'm going to go do something with this person or for myself. And yeah, we get totally caught up in someone else's social media life. And it doesn't necessarily have a positive impact on our own. And I'm not sure why, but I do think part of it is acceptance and validation, and it's our human nature, and technology knows that. It kind of feeds on that.
Well, I'd like to say thank you for your friendship for all these years, all the way back to Garden Center for the Handicap. And I've always been so amazed by you and your work at the Smart Museum, your family, your role as mother, as wife, as continued artist in the world, creative thinker. So thank you for your partnership in our exhibition, the apART Show. And I love your art. And even tonight, I learned so much more about it. I mean, I saw it. We got it in the mail. I live with it. But it's really powerful work. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.